You guys to take notes, right? That's gonna be very, very important. So have a pen and paper handy so you can take notes and find like have action step that you can complete after the webinar. Because a lot of it, like I'm gonna probably show you guys a lot of stuff tonight, but there's a lot that you have to do afterward, after the event, right? Things you have to take action on. So note this, make sure you're focused. And let me jump on the slide. We have people from, that's awesome. Canada, Magic Trader. Canadian living in Bangkok, cool. From Singapore, South Africa, cool. Philippines, nice, awesome. So if you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet, I would love if you can subscribe. That would be really, really awesome. As I said, I'm doing those videos on YouTube because it's a lot easier for me to do them on YouTube as opposed to like having a fancy webinar thing and everything. I prefer it that way. And those are basically complete trainings. Okay, so I'm not gonna like just teach boring stuff or stuff that doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna go with some things that are really, really useful. And as you guys know, some of you guys tonight are in my academy already, which is really, really cool. So what I do is I publish this training after in the academy for people. I'm gonna get started right now because it's already 8:01 here. I know, wow, you guys in wow, Sydney. I think it's like 8, isn't it 8 a.m. in Sydney right now or something similar? Oh, we have Dominican Republic. Awesome. Those are places that, I don't know, I never had people from there in my webinars. That's pretty cool. We have also Hong Kong. I'm jealous. Hong Kong is so nice. Ray, what's up? Cool. So we're going to get started right now. This is going to be the agenda for tonight. I'm just going to do kind of a small introduction first. Then we'll go to the 4 areas of discipline execution. So that means whenever you trade, there's like 4 different parts to trading in a disciplined way. Okay, this is going to be all about discipline tonight. And the winning habit formula. We'll finish this by a step-by-step implementation plan. So you guys have something clear that you can apply afterward. And then a Q&A at the end. Nice. VLT Nomad Trader. Seoul. Alright, that's cool. Awesome. Okay, 10 a.m. in Sydney. Yeah, wow, what the fuck. People so 2 a.m. in South Africa. That's pretty insane. I know. I like to work at night, but some people don't like. It depends. If it's your style, staying up at night to watch trading like webinars, it's totally fine. I appreciate it a lot. If you can stay, if not, totally fine. But yeah, Nomad Trader, Seoul, Korea. That's awesome, man. Cool. I know you've been going through, I think, Thailand or Vietnam recently. No, that's pretty cool. I think it's moving a lot, but just let me know in the chat box, and I'm curious to know. Awesome. So as I said, this is going to be a complete training tonight. Stay focused. Please take notes if you can, because there's going to be a lot of things. And the worst formula in all these webinars is that you watch everything, you forget about, you intend to execute, to take some action, but you don't do anything because you're like too overwhelmed because there's too much stuff. So I'm going to try to keep this very simple, very straightforward, but you need to like come up with some action step for yourself. Even though it's going to be like a step-by-step implementation plan, it's always better if you have something that you want to work on yourself. Okay, so I want to start with a question because I basically want to ask you guys simply, why do you want to become more disciplined? Comment in the chat box, and I'm checking the chat box like all the time. But Sanjit, nice, he's joining us, cool. Yeah, so comment in the chat box. Let me know why you want to be more disciplined. And there could be many possibilities. Now, the reason why... Oh, Toronto, cool. So, here's the thing with discipline. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I came to understand one very simple thing with discipline. Is the fact that there's a big problem. It's really hard to be disciplined. Because of this thing right here. Okay? This is what success we think looks like. So we think that we're going to jump into trading and being successful from the start. Okay? Okay. So I see people commenting like, essential to success, consistently profitable. Yeah, that's what you think. But the road to success is what we see like this. Okay, this is what we expect that this is going to be. We're going to be able to find a strategy, trade it, and from there we're going to be profitable. The thing is, like, as you guys know, we don't really see what's coming, and things will never really unfold that way, right? It's going to be like a mess, like something like this. And that's what makes it that's what makes it hard to be disciplined, because we don't know exactly. Like, we could do everything right, and they're gonna go really bad. Or we could do everything, like, we could do stupid things, and things are gonna go really well, and we're gonna achieve our goals. So The thing about discipline is that we have to create something from the start to ensure that we're going to remain disciplined no matter what. And that is what we call finding what's your why. Having a reason for why you want to be disciplined, why you want to be profitable. Because there's a big difference between just wanting to be profitable, like wanting to succeed in trading. Like everyone wants that. Like who doesn't want to be profitable? Okay, I think that's pretty clear. And if you guys do not want to be profitable tonight, you might as well leave the webinar. I think it's going to be very useful. But if you want to be profitable, that's where finding your why comes in. And that's where you want to have a clear reason for why you want to trade, why you want to reach that goal. Because it's not always going to be evident and simple to do the right action to reach your goal. Right? The being consistent is not going to be always easy. That's why you want to have a why first. And then after that, you are going to see some progress. And we'll come back to that a little bit later. Okay? I always have this slide on my webinars, but this training is not for people who expect to be given a strategy like right now that they're going to be able to trade. We did a whole training on strategies last month or 2 months ago. That was really cool. But tonight's going to be a different topic. And if you want to see like the past ones, there's the academy for that. All trainings are there. But it's not for that. If you have no interest in trading again, it's not really for you. But there's always people I think most of you guys come in for the right reason, right? I believe it. But some people come in with not so good reasons. And if you don't want to listen, like if you think you have all the answers, of course, it's not going to work, right? You have to be open-minded and you have to be willing to implement things, even though they might seem weird. Because some of the aspects tonight, I'm sure you've learned before, or you've heard before some of the things. But the question is, are you really like acting on them? Did you really like see success with those things? Okay, that's much more important than just wanting to find the new information and the new thing to apply and to use. Okay, so quick introduction. Who am I? And I forgot to say at any point if you guys have any questions or any so if you have any questions during the event, make sure to comment in the chat box. I might not answer right away. It might take some time, but I'll get back to it for sure. And if not, at the end. Okay, so I'll try to take some breaks to answer the questions, but if not, we'll just come to them at the end or something. NTV game. Will this be up for 24 hours afterward? Yet 24-hour on YouTube, but because you are a member of the academy, it's gonna be in the academy like right away after that for forever, for lifetime. So you can watch it like 1,000 times if you want, or 2,000 times. Doesn't really matter. Or just watch it once or twice. It's fine too. But it's gonna be in the academy after that. So replays are always there. All right. So those are all the same thing that don't really change. I'm a traveling swing Forex trader. I'm back in Canada right now for a couple of months. But I'm planning some new trips, some exciting things for probably 2018. But yeah, I've been trading Forex for about 4 years now. I've been doing mostly swing trading. I went a little bit into day trading a year ago or so. And I ended up quitting day trading when I was traveling because it's too hard to maintain. I cannot help you get rich quick. That's just a fact. I'm really bad at that. And I started to trade 4 years ago. My kind of specialty, or the thing I like to talk about the most, is trading methodology and trading psychology. I see the slide is weird, but yeah, setups and all these things are not my specialty. I like them, but I don't like to talk about them sometimes. So I much rather teach you like how to have good habits, how to develop discipline, how to create a strategy, not like just what to trade, not the technical setup, because we all know that those setups are going to be good for some people and bad for some other people. Okay. Oh, we have Malaysia. Awesome. Cool people here. Been featured to a couple of places. I won't expand on this. And I've been at a conference April in China, in Shenzhen. Some of you guys might have been there. I know I met some of you guys in Shenzhen. It was pretty cool. And that was a good event. But I'm not going to go back. I can expand on that, but no problem. Okay. The only thing with trading, and I found this like over time, is that I'm not the type of person who's going to trade all day. Like, I don't want to trade in an office or in a prop firm all day. It's not something I enjoy. And I kind of felt in love with traveling. Okay? You guys have seen, if you're watching this on YouTube, and yeah, you're watching this on YouTube, of course, but you've probably seen the past videos I've done and the travels I've made. And I would much rather be able to travel and trade than to trade for like a prop firm or trade all day, basically. This is just my style. And some people might like it. Some people might not like it. but this is what I've been falling in love with, basically, traveling and trading. So I've been to a couple of places. This is Penang. I've met the thing I like to do the most, probably when I travel, is to meet other traders, right? That's just a fact. And even when I'm here in Montreal, I meet other traders all the time. It's just a big part of me. So here's Navin from Urban Forex, Michael Toma in Shanghai. This is, I think, Cuba, Shanghai. The thing I want you guys to understand is that it's not been always that way. And I see we have some people coming in right now. So if you want to introduce yourself or just let me know where you're from, I'm curious, because we have a boost right now and people watching, which is awesome. But yeah, I didn't always have the desire to travel, and I was not always good at trading for sure. Okay, that's just a fact. Nevin, yeah. I want to bring you guys back to 2015. And at that time, I had been trading for about 2 years, okay? Like 2 years, pretty, I want to say consistent, but I want to say like every single day. Or I was looking at the market a lot. Oh, so another person from South Korea. Awesome. You guys should connect. All people in South Korea. I think I saw like 3 or 4, which is good. Okay, so in 2015, I was studying in Hong Kong. I was doing some basically university study there, and that was kind of my first time to travel. Brazil, awesome. I have to stop watching the comment. Okay, and I was basically Montreal, awesome. Okay, let's go back to the webinar. So at that time, I'd been studying in Hong Kong basically, and traveling for the first time. The cool thing when you do an exchange is that you can go to different countries and experience like the culture and travel to many places, and that's pretty much what I did. So one thing that I was kind of interested about was the import-export kind of business. And I went to a few events. I went to a few conferences, the Canton Fair specifically. And then one day I came across this factory. I was basically asking people to visit their factories because that's something I was kind of interested in, just to see like what factory were like and whether I could like buy product or whatever or do business with them. And I came across this factory once. That was in Dongguan in China. I think it's in the south of China, near Shenzhen. And I went to this we just did the whole tour with them, and I saw the factories, and then I came to realize like this is like the worst environment to live in. Like it's just terrible. And even though this is not as worst as what you would see in Canada, like you still go to work in Canada and everything, but it's not as worse. Like you don't live next to the factory because the buildings were pretty much like the residents were pretty much in that building. I don't know if you guys can see the. I think you can see, and the factory was like the next building basically. So that's really bad. And the only thing people were doing at that time is like they were waking up, going to work in the factory, coming back home, like maybe playing on their cell phone a little bit, going back to work, coming back home. And I said, well, like I'm gonna have to go back to Canada soon, and if I'm gonna have to have a job, it's gonna be like I'm gonna have to work in a kind of similar environment. Not as bad, of course. Like you go to work by car, you have a good like environment and everything, but is it really the way it's supposed to be? Like, are you supposed to work all day for someone else and come back home and like have nothing else to do, basically? And then I started to think about like what are the possibilities, what things I could do instead. And the two things I had at the time were basically either I start a kind of dropshipping business, or I study import export, or I go into Forex, into trading, which I wasn't do before. What's up, Kenneth? Texas. Nice. So do I like keep trading and try to figure this stuff out? Because I was not making money at that time. At 2015, no, not at all. So do I try to figure out that stuff? And of course, you guys know the answer. Or do I go into like a boring business like import export? And I ended up picking trading, as you guys know. So when I came back to Canada, I started to I bought tons of books. I think I bought like probably 5 audiobooks in a month, with like 10 paper book the same month. And I invested in a trading coach, and I started to meet successful traders, other traders that were here in Montreal. That was for the first time. I'll tell you guys right away that the first one didn't really work. It didn't make much progress. I didn't see much from the books. Although books are useful, but I got much more success and much more knowledge and much more practice with the last 2 parts. So in investing in a coach and starting to meet other traders. And that was probably the biggest turning point when I started to meet other traders in Montreal. I started to like talk with them and see what I could do and like how I could improve and what they were thinking, what I was thinking, all that stuff. And in like maybe less than 1.5 years later, I already had my first $50,000 account to trade. That was not my money, by the way. That was from someone else. So at that time, I started to trade for someone else for the first time. And that was only like in 1.5 years. So the message of this is like, when you start to surround yourself with other traders, you can see some massive progress. And it doesn't take that much time. But you just have to be willing to do it and be willing to surround yourself with other people. And that was like the biggest turning point for me. Nice. So I see we have some people from Brazil, Montreal, Texas. Nice stuff. Let's get back to discipline. Now I've told you guys a little bit about my story and everything. If you have some question about it, just comment below. But let me take a sip of tea and we'll get to discipline in a moment. All right. So discipline. Jim Rohn said that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. You could have like 1,000 goals, but unless you're disciplined about your goals, unless you have the discipline to follow through, you're not gonna get anywhere. Okay, that's just a fact. So discipline is like the bridge that we have to build over time. And once we have discipline, like it's a big step forward. It's something that we are gonna be able to use in pretty much everything. Whether it's gonna be in trading, in life. Well, life is kind of general, but in business and whatever, in health. Okay, discipline is good for everything. Once you know the process to kind of build discipline, as I'll show you guys today, you can use this anywhere, which is the powerful thing about it. The thing is, if you want to be able to trade, you have to stay what I would call centered. Okay, you cannot allow yourself to be distracted by emotions, change your mind, like reflect when you're not supposed to reflect or think, or you're not supposed to do that. So you have to stay centered. You have to stay like in a state where nothing's gonna like shake you, nothing's gonna push you on the side. And that is like a state that takes a long time to build, but this is gonna lead ultimately to the right actions. And that's exactly what we want for you guys. We want you guys to have the right actions and to be able to remain centered whatever happens. Okay, that is the ultimate goal. There's a powerful saying though that says reason comes first, result comes second. So this goes in line with the thing I told you guys in the beginning about finding your why. Okay, why you want to trade or why you want to become consistent. Like you have your goal, I want to become a consistently profitable trader. That's going to be the same thing for most of you guys. I'm pretty sure. But if it's different, just comment in the chat box and let me know. But the question is, why do you want to achieve that? Why do you want to become profitable? Because like, who cares about being profitable? It's like, okay, I'm profitable, like money. Now, like, what's next? What's the point? So you want to have a why. You want to have something solid behind. And like, there's a wonderful book by Simon Sinek. I don't know if you guys read it. I think it's called The Power of Why, or Start with Why. And it's talking about how like the why is much more powerful than the what and the how and like the ultimate goal. Okay, so you want to figure out your why first. And what I recommend you guys is that you write down like 10 reasons why you want to trade full time. Because that's what you guys want to do, right? You want to trade full time. So write down like 10 reasons why you want to do it, why you want to achieve that goal. And those could be many things. It's going to be different for everyone. The reason why you need to write down 10 reasons is because not all of them are going to be powerful. Like, let's say I want to travel and like I want to be able to travel the world and do like a world tour. Okay, that's one of my goals for sure. And that's one of my reasons to be able to trade like live and full time and stay consistent in that. So this one is like this one is strong for me. But for some of you guys, that might be stupid. That might be like, oh, okay. Or that might be just like an average reason. So you want to write down 10 and you pick like the top 5. And those top 5, like you write them down everywhere, like in a journal, in a notebook, on your computer, as you like screenshot, whatever, your wallpaper. And you try to review them daily. So you have like this inspiration coming back to help you be disciplined. Okay, that is the very first step. And if there's like one powerful thing in this webinar, I think it's really this one. To have your why, your reason why you want to achieve your goal, and to review those reasons daily. Okay, that works with everything. With trading, with business, with anything in life. Any goal you have. But first, it's finding your why. Okay? Now here's what happens. This is you. This is a trader. And I apologize if there's some women watching this, but let's just say this is a trader. Okay? And when you have your why, this is going to lead to consistent execution. Okay? no why, you just go to like basic execution because you're not clear about like what you want to reach, and you're not sure like, well, if I only want to make money from trading, well, maybe I should like focus on finding the move, not taking the right trades. Like, what's the point of having a plan if my only goal is to make money? I'm able to make money anyway. But if your goal is to like live from trading, and if your reason is to, let's say, travel the world, then you have something more powerful. And then you can attach, well, if I am consistent in my execution, I'm gonna be able to travel and like travel the world. Okay? And that's the point. So you want to find your why, you want to write it down and review it pretty much daily. Okay, now the 4 areas of discipline execution. There, you guys have probably seen before that being disciplined in trading has like different parts. It's not only one thing. It's not like taking the right trade, although it's kind of part of it, but there's kind of much more to it. And your execution in trading can fall into different categories. Okay, it's not only one thing. It's not like I trade to make money. It's like, no, it's I trade to follow the plan. So it's a little bit different. Here's the small matrix with that. Here's on this side is your actions. Okay, the action you take. You can either not take a trade or you can take a trade. And here's based on your trading plan. Okay, so you can have a trade that you have to take or have a trade that you don't have to take. Okay, that you shouldn't take. So based on those four categories, you have a different execution. Okay, of course the green one is the one that you want to aim for. You take the trade that you should take, and you do not take the trade you shouldn't take. Okay, that's basic. But depending on the trader and depending on every single person, okay, it's gonna be kind of different. So some people might have a problem here with not taking a trade you should take. Some people are gonna have a problem with taking trade that they take too many trades that they should take. Okay, so it's different for everyone. But what I want you guys to understand now is which one you're doing wrong the most. Is it like not taking trade that you should take? Is it taking too many trades that you shouldn't take? Or maybe that you just have a problem with all, like maybe it's with all of them, but try to spot the one you have a problem with. Okay, and if you're good at these two green ones, then it's a good progress. But you wanna improve those ones, the two green, and reduce the two red. Okay, so comment in the chat box and let me know which one you have most problem with. Is it like not taking the trade or taking too many trades? Perhaps that's a good question. And here's, well, disciplined trading, just to recap. But disciplined trading means that you don't take the bad trade and that you take the good trade. Okay? So I see John is saying taking a trade I shouldn't take. So it's taking too many trades that he shouldn't take. Okay, which is, yeah. So it's kind of being too impulsive or taking too many trades, basically. Okay, that's good. And undisciplined trading is basically you take the bad trades and you do not take the good trades. Okay. Now the question with all of this. Okay, so we have taking too many trades again by Ibet. Yeah, cool. Taking too many trades again. Okay, that's good. Awesome. So now the thing is, you have to identify like what's your performance, because that's the first step to everything. I believe in trading, like the first thing we have to do as traders is to evaluate what we did. And if you cannot spot like which one it is, there's a problem somewhere, okay? And that is where tracking your performance comes into play. Okay, that's where it's really, really important. Okay? So you want to be able to track your performance. And here's an example of like how I do it, and it's really simple. But basically my trades are identified between good winning, good losing, bad winning, and bad losing. Okay, so I can spot right away like which one do I have most problem with. If this one is full, well, I know I'm taking too many bad trades, too many trades I shouldn't take. If this one of missed trade is full, like I know I'm missing some trades. Okay, so that's the biggest thing that you have to track. And once you have your stats, then you can reevaluate which one you're doing most wrong and which one you're good at, because probably you're good at like one of them. Okay. Yeah, sure. Cool. So here's now the most powerful ways to improve. And just give me a second, I'll block someone here. Yeah. Cool. No need for negativity. All right. Cool. So now that you have your stats, okay, the most powerful way to improve, because this is kind of hard. You have your stats. Uh, let's see what he said. Yeah. So you have your stats, and then you want to try to improve. There's a powerful concept, because the thing is, if you see this as a job, like, oh my god, like I'm bad, I have to improve, I have to become better. It's hard. Like I have bad stats. You're gonna look like this. Okay, that's just a fact of life. But if you see this as a challenge instead, if you see this as a game, pretty much, you're probably gonna look like this, which is much better, I think, which is much more exciting to be in. So there's this concept in trading which we call gamification, or in anything pretty much. It's been introduced to me in the book Level Up Your Life, but it's the idea that you turn your goals into kind of games. That way they're kind of more fun, they're more achievable, and basically you keep a score. You try to compete with others or yourself, and you define like what's a win. And your goal in trading is to win, not to win money, to win in this game of stats, basically, of the things you can control. So here's an example for you guys, and this is something I compute like every single month. Okay, this is like another example of 2017, the beginning of the year, but basically I've computed like all the good trades I have. Okay, I had 3 good winning trades and 3 good losing trades. Okay, those are 4 good losing trades. Those are all good trades, whatever the result. Then I've had like 1 bad winning trade and 2 bad losing trades. Okay, for that period, whatever period this is. So that gives me, if you like compute the score, that gives you 70% of accuracy. Okay. Now my job for the next month is to improve on that score. Okay. No matter what happens, like my goal is not to trade and make money. My goal is to improve that score. As much as I can improve the 70%, to turn it into 80%, 90%, 95% if possible. Okay, that's the only goal. And what I do is that every like 20 trades, I'll go back. I'll measure myself against this score to see if I've improved. And it's basically like a game, okay? Because if you see trading as like a job and something that is hard and like you're bad at it, you're gonna look like this. If you see this as a place where you have the possibility to improve, you're gonna see yourself like this, which is much better and much more kind of powerful to be able to improve, okay? So you compute your stats, you try to push yourself to achieve more. And those are, by the way, those are things you can control. Like that's the big fact. You do not try to take more winning trades. You just try to take more good trades and less bad trades. Okay? And you don't need to be that much disciplined to do that. Okay, yeah, you need some discipline, but we'll talk about how to improve your discipline afterward. But this is like something that if you transform it to not having to find the perfect trades, instead trying to place the good trades, right? It's much more of a game and it's much more interesting for you guys. And that's the way I've been doing it for a long time. Now, of course, there's going to be like, you're going to have some discipline that you need at some point. Okay, that's just a fact. And there's a kind of secret to sustained discipline. It's kind of a secret, but at least kind of a myth too. It's creating solid habits. Creating habits that are going to be able to push you to reach your goals. Okay, because, and this is a quote I like. One of the most prevalent myths in our culture is self-discipline. Okay, this is Leo Babota. He's a blogger and really influential. And same thing in the book. This is in the book, The One Thing. Success is actually a short race. It's kind of a sprint fueled by discipline, just long enough until you can have habits that kick in and take over. Okay, that's the goal. Having discipline forever and being able to always take the right trade based only on your discipline and your kind of self-force. It's like a myth. It's not possible. What you really want to do is you want to be able to have that small discipline first, and then the habit kick in. And that's where it really becomes powerful. Because habits, you don't have to think about them. They're automatic. They come like automatically. You don't have to do anything. They're just there, and you get result with them. Okay? So yes, you want to have the small part of discipline at the beginning, but after that, like taking the right trade or taking the good trades is only going to be a habit. Once you know like how this works. Now, of course, people are going to say, well, how do I implement habits? Like, I'm good, but how can I make sure that my habits are there? Like, I cannot seem to implement any habit, right? Those habits are hard. Like, they're hard to create. Habits is tough. But how can you make sure that you have some habits in place? So I want to provide you guys with kind of a step-by-step implementation plan of habits, specifically. Okay, this is like process in the book The Power of Habits. It's pretty much the same for everything. Like people have different ways of changing that and promoting that and like defining it. But basically, you have 3 parts in every single habit. You have what we call a cue, then the routine, which is the action, and then the reward. Okay, those things like can seem abstract a little bit. So I want to give you guys as much example as possible. Let me know if everything is clear or not clear so far. I do want to make sure that it makes sense. But so the first step in all of this is going to be to have cues. Okay, impactful cues. And those are going to they're going to vary in different parts. Okay, if you trade, it's one thing. If you like have a business, it's a different thing. If you look for health, it's a different thing. If your goal is to like hit healthy, now the cue is going to be different than if you want to trade and put the right trades. Okay, so a couple of cues, and those are only the ones that I've tried myself and the ones that I've seen the most success with. And it's really simple, this one actually. Having a post-it on your computer. So most of the time, like we know what we have to do when we want to trade. Like let's say you want to build discipline to journal. Okay, that could be your goal. I want to be able to like track my trade all the time because I do not track anything now. Okay, that's my goal, for example. So oftentimes we have the intention. We know what we want to do. Like we have this clear thing in mind. I want to journal. But somehow, whenever we trade, we kind of forget that we have to journal. Okay? So the easy solution is to have like a post-it note on your computer that says, track your trades, for example. Okay? I used to have that like for probably 2 months on my computer. Track your trades. That was the only thing the post-it said. Because as soon as I would close a trade, I had this post-it in front of me saying track your trades. And I would go automatically to track my trades. Okay, it's not hard. The only thing we need is to have the reminder to tell us track your trades. Okay, you could push this further. If, for example, your goal is to take the trades only at support zones. Okay, so you would write take trades only at support zone, and you have like this big post-it next to your computer. It's like you see it all the time. You cannot avoid it. So that's really powerful. And what's the Tommy? Cool. Tommy is in, I think, China. Guangzhou, I think, if I'm right. Cool. So, yeah, screenshot all your trade, as I said. The other thing is, like a short process you read every single day. I used to do that also a long time ago, where I had, like, this trading plan. Basically, my one-page trading plan. You guys might have seen this before. But, basically, I would just read it out loud every single morning. I would have my plan in front of me. Like, it was, I think, 2-3 sentences. The only thing I read. Like, the thing I read. And I would read this like every single morning, like a short thing like this thing here. Only trade with the market phase and Bollinger Band reversal, stop loss below the low, take profit 2-1. Okay, that's like a strategy in itself for me. But if you read this every single morning, guess what? It's really easy to remember. Like really easy to get this like ingrained in your brain. And once you have like this in your brain, it's impossible to get out. Right? Yeah, you have like your process forever, which you're good to execute on. But if you have your process, which is only like kind of on a paper somewhere, like where you don't see it, it's much more difficult to be disciplined because you have no cue. You have nothing to tell you like be disciplined, do the right action. Okay, so that is something you might want to do as well. And the other thing was to read as I said, my one-page trading plan every morning, which I did also a long time. But if I had to choose between like the 3, I think post-it comes first, the short process comes second, and the whole trading plan comes third. If you want to go like far, you could even write your trading plan every morning. Like it takes maybe 10 minutes. That's fine. Because over time, you're going to be able to remember it very easily. And that's exactly what we want. We want you guys to like have this in your brain where like if I ask you on the street, like the goal is like if I meet you on the street, like let's say next week, you could tell me your plan like right away. Exactly what you do. Like a short sentence like this. I only trade with the market phase and Bollinger Band reversal. I know what this is. Stop loss below the low. Take profit 2-1. Okay, if you can have this in your mind, like you're good to go. It's powerful. You have it forever. But this is like those are example of cues. Of course, like there's more. You could have plenty of cues, but those are the basic ones that I've used. And then as you guys have seen in the other parts, okay, the other part is the reward. So the cue is gonna tell you what action to do, but then you wanna have something at the end. A reward, like a positive impact, so that you can restart the habit. And once you have the 3 parts in place, your habit is going to be continuous. Okay, you have to do it for a certain time, of course, like 30 to 60 days, whatever. But after that, you're good to go. right? Which is really, really powerful. So couple of example of rewards that I've used again. First one is like how you will feel after. Okay, so sometimes like we don't think about it, but being disciplined, we feel much better afterward. Like I feel much better if I'm disciplined. Even if I were to take a trade that is a losing trade, if I know that I've been disciplined and perfect on that trade, like I feel good. Seriously, like I really feel good. So how you feel after is really, really important. If you know that you're moving toward your goal by being disciplined, you will feel better afterward. Okay? So once you have this, you have the full circle, the full cycle of habit, which is really powerful. And the thing is, you want to write this down. So like you know how you're going to feel after. Because that could be also your kind of cue. If you tell yourself, well, by being disciplined, I'll feel X, I'll feel like good, I'll be happy. I'll know that I'm doing something to move forward, to move toward my goal of training full time, of being able to travel the world, of being able to spend time with my family. Like this is the why again. But if you write this down, you're much more likely to be disciplined because you know what is the reward, and the reward is you'll feel good and you'll move toward your goal. Okay, does that make sense? Can be like a little bit like not obvious or a little bit abstract, but it's something I've used myself and it makes a lot of sense for me. And also trading related reward. Okay, so the easiest example is to increase your account size every like week or every like 20 trades. You're disciplined. Okay, that's kind of a trading reward because you're gonna trade bigger over time, and you're gonna be able to see the result of your work of being disciplined. Okay, so let's say like the best example with this is that you want to have a number of trades, like let's say every 20 trades that are disciplined, or like every, because you cannot be perfect. So like every 20 trades where you are 95% compliant. So we saw the score before. I had like 70%. But whenever you are 95% compliant, you want to increase your account size to like I don't know, let's say like 20%. Okay, whatever you decide. But that could be a really good reward because you're moving toward your goal. And the other thing, you feel like more new, it could be to just open a live account. Okay, if I can trade 2 weeks and take 20 trades, and let's say have a 90% compliance level, like 90% of my trades are good trades, I'll open a live account. Okay, that could be like a good reward. That could be really strong. For some people, it's going to be very motivating to have your first live account open and to be able to like do the same thing and replicate your demo trading to it after you've been like through the whole habit and after you've been disciplined. But if the thing is, if you don't have the reward, you're kind of missing a step. You're kind of missing a part to it because you're going to be disciplined. You're not going to see any like result, any reward, anything like useful, and you might go back to being non-disciplined. Okay, so as long as like when you have the full cycle, that's where you have the real power of discipline. And of course, physical reward, like having a nice meal in a restaurant, going outside for like a vacation, whatever. Those are what I would call physical reward. So those can work too, of course. Okay. The team now is that with all of this, you guys, you really have to do what it takes, like whatever it takes. Okay, it's like you cannot come into this game and say, well, okay, so I've tried like the whole habit thing. I had a reward and I had a queue, and I'm not disciplined more. Okay, it doesn't work. Like you cannot come in with this perspective in trading. Okay, that doesn't work. What you really want to do is you want to come into trading with, like, you do whatever it takes to ensure that you show up clear on your task and ready to trade, and discipline will follow. If you have no discipline with trying one thing, you just try something else. And you treat every single day as an experiment. Okay, that is powerful. When you can start to treat days as experiment, it's like telling yourself, well, okay, I'm going to try this. If it works, I'll stick to it. I'll use it to my advantage. But if it doesn't work, it's fine. Because no one is the same thing. Like no one is the same person. People all have different ways, different things that make them disciplined, things that make them not disciplined. So you want to experiment with yourself of what works and what doesn't. Okay, that is very powerful. And I've said that like many times, but let me just go back to camera for a while. Okay, you guys really have to become independent. That is like powerful also. If you are not independent, if you expect someone else to bring you the answer, and to tell you like what to do all the time, it's not gonna work. Okay, that's the fact. So what you want to do is you want to test things on yourself. Like you try to use some of these things I talk about, use them on yourself, see if they work, and if not, just try something else. Try a new thing, like change the reward, change the cue, have like make sure you have your why. Okay, those are things that you have to experiment with. And speaking of experiment, okay, this is the other part to it. There's a lot of things you can do to be more disciplined, and among those are the next part of this webinar. Okay, there's a lot of things that have impact on your discipline, and I want to kind of highlight them, not because I think they're super interesting, but mostly because they make a big impact, and I've tried myself to use them as much as I can. It works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes. You cannot be perfect on these things, but if you can at least implement them a little bit, you're always going to have much more success than the guy doing nothing. Okay, the first one is to eat more healthy, and like that's obvious. Please don't like leave after you eat, like hearing this. It's normal. You have to eat healthy, and you also have to eat frequently, because guess what happens if you do not eat for a while? You come to trade, and you just don't feel like you want to play trades. Like you feel like bored and like not like I want to say not happy, but you feel kind of disappointed, like down a little bit. Like like it's really difficult to take trades, and it's maybe even easier to take the trades you're not supposed to take. Okay. So there was a study done, and I don't have the whole stats and everything, but basically they were looking at judges on how they condemn people who are like for prison, basically in the United States, and they found out that when the person was going in front of the judge near lunchtime, like just before lunchtime, they were much more likely that person to be sent to prison, sent to jail, because the judge didn't have enough like discipline. The willpower was more down, and that's a big impact. Like imagine if you come to trading just before lunch, you did not eat yet, and you try to place trades. Like you're gonna be all over the place, right? So that's because your glucose level, the level of glucose in your blood, fluctuates with how you like what you eat and when you eat. So if you don't eat for a while and you come and try to trade, like it could be like before lunch or after work, whatever. Okay, there's different like times and everything. But if you come with like low energy, guess what? You're not gonna trade right. It's gonna be very hard. Okay, so you're careful with what you eat. So of course, like good things, because a lot of things are kind of drawing your energy down. And I found this for myself also, like things that I don't eat anymore because they bring too much my energy down. And I try to like stay healthy, stay like in a state where I can place a trade I have to place, and I cannot place a trade I don't have to place. Okay, that's a big part also. And another thing is to meditate daily. I know some of you guys might not like agree with this part. Doesn't really matter. I'm sharing it anyway because it's made a big impact on me. But meditation activates the willpower part of the brain. This has been shown by research by many people. And here is Ivan Biagi, which I had on the podcast a few episodes ago. Well, long time ago. Oh my god, 2 years ago. But he shared about how meditation was like had a big impact on his life and on his trading. Basically, he didn't have any like he was really bad at trading before. Came in to understand how meditation worked, like what he could do to like calm his mind and everything. And he went, I think, close to suicide before like figuring out how much of meditation was of a good impact for him. And it's not to say that meditation is like the only solution that's gonna make you profitable, but it can have a big impact. Okay, it can have a big like change on basically your state of mind, and ultimately the decision you make on whether or not to place trades. Okay, and that is like what you want to achieve. We want to control the decision we make and have them as much like as close to what we're supposed to do, basically. Okay, it's been mentioned in a couple of books, also meditation. And the other thing is to take breaks. Actually, I want to show you guys with you guys. Basically, when I started to trade and when I came back to Canada, like in 2015, I had this basically job where I was working all day. Okay, I was starting at, well, even before, but I was starting really, really early in the morning. I was coming back home at, let's say, 4 p.m. around that time. And then I would go right to the chart because like that was the close of the like New York session or something at that time. So I was going straight to my computer to place trades. But when you come back from like traffic and work and like a car ride and everything, you cannot be focused on the chart. It's like I found it impossible. So if I were to go on my chart right away and place trades, I would make many mistakes. I would not be like optimal to place my trades. And what I did basically is that I like understood that. I was aware of like the problem, and I just like switched this to taking a walk before going to my computer. So I would take like a 15-minute walk, just like walking around the block, whatever, before going to my charts, before placing trades. And that would make like so much of a big impact because I was not in the right, like in the same state of mind. By taking a walk, I was more calm, I was relaxed, I was ready to kind of put the right decision to like just look objectively at the market first and not like tired and like wanting to rush in a trade or wanting to not place a trade. And that made like a big impact. That made a big difference. And that is probably like the biggest change I made at that time in trading. Okay. Let's go back to the chart, to the this thing. And the other thing is more sleep. Okay, seriously, sleep deprivation is the new smoking. Ariana Huffington, and I totally agree with that. I had like some bad weeks, especially with day trading, where like I was screwing up totally. And I did an article about this. Like this is the video I did, but basically those weeks were so bad because I was sleeping like 5 hours per night, and I made so many mistakes, like terrible mistakes that I would never make otherwise. Okay, only because of sleep, pretty much. That's the only thing that changed that week. So not only does sleep makes you like tired and you don't want to place trades, but you also don't like tend to do the same habits, right? You like seems like whenever you lack sleep, you do not do the same things you're supposed to do. Like you skip a step or you don't look at your plan because you don't feel like it or whatever, and your decisions are impacted no matter what. So sleep is a big factor into all of this. Okay, really important. So all these three parts, the nutrition, sleep, and the other one before, taking break and meditation, those are really important. Okay, even though like, and I know some of you guys tried them before, maybe you didn't try them before, but like pick one that you want to like change and see progress with. Okay, this is really important. And don't try to change everything at once. Like I'll eat healthy, I'll be good, like I'll do everything, I'll sleep like 8 hours, 10 hours per night, I'll do this and that, and like, no, like pick one, try to master one, try to experiment with one, as we said, and see if it works. If it doesn't really work for you for like 1 or 2 weeks, you pick another one. Okay, you pick a different thing. And there's so many information out there about what you can do to like perform better and everything. Like so many books that you could have so many ideas on how you can become better. The only thing that lies between those tips and your success is how you implement them and how you experiment with them and how you see like what makes a big difference in you. What makes you disciplined? What makes you not disciplined? And it's kind of okay to screw up for 1 week, because then you can show up the next week and be better. Okay, you can try new things. So how do you become the most disciplined trader? You get clear on your why, very important, and you start to experiment. Start to try new things. We talked about many of them tonight, like health, like sleep, meditation, nutrition, your why, the habits, not relying only on discipline, but on habits. And those are things that can make a big impact. Okay? So I want you guys to comment below with your questions. We'll do a kind of Q&A at the end. I do want to talk about one more thing, but comment with your question now so we have some to discuss afterward. And I feel like I rushed a little bit through that presentation, but it's good we're on time. So, all right. So, like, whatever topic you guys want to discuss, I'm totally open to discuss. If it's discipline, fine. If it's not discipline, totally fine too. We'll make sure that we cover whatever topic we have to cover, because I'm here to help. Now, if you guys made it this far, okay, and like I see right now there's like 32 people watching, 33, and it's increasing. That's really cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. But if you made it this far, okay, you kind of have a next step to take, because I don't believe myself in like succeeding alone, or like you could do it. Here's gonna be your learning curve, okay? Here on the bottom is the time, and on the other side is the result you're gonna get. So in other words, it's gonna take a long time to get a little bit of result. The other possibility you have is you get in a supportive environment. In other words, like what I did, is you surround yourself with traders. You meet as many traders as you can. You try to learn from them. Try to see how they do things. And whatever environment this is going to be, okay? You try to surround yourself with as many people as you can. And I really want to encourage you guys to do that. To surround yourself with traders. People who do what you want to do, who've achieved what you want to achieve, and who can kind of guide you and help you to move forward. Okay, that is a big part of it. And I'll tell you guys, if I didn't do this before, I would never have been able to trade full time. Like, never have been able to even trade for other people. Like, no way. Because, as I showed you guys, my learning curve would have been this. And let's say like this is trading for other people. Okay, this part right here. I would still be like, let's say, I would still be like, I would not have reached that thing yet, for sure. Okay, because I was doing the same mistake over and over again. So the cool thing is that there's so many traders that I've interviewed myself, and I just want to give like a small shout out to this. But I really encourage you guys to like, this is the page that I print out today, basically, of all the podcasts. There's 110 right now. But I really encourage you guys to reach out to whoever it is that has done what you want to achieve. Okay, could be like, I don't care who it is. Could be like in this list, could be someone else. But pick someone who's achieved what you want to achieve and try to follow them. Try to see like what they do. Because it's like, truly, this is going to be the best thing that you put your effort into. Like having someone to help you out, to guide you along the way. Okay, it's the only thing I preach, because it's the thing I've seen most success with. Okay, so really this is your task. Like, find someone who's done what you want to do, reach out to them, try to connect with them, whatever, see if they can help, and try to learn from them as much as you can. Okay, and like, you can see this on thisarchetype.com/podcast. You just type in your browser, you're going to be able to get to that page. And the other thing I want to highlight also is that starting from today, there's like a lot of skills that you develop, okay? And I want to highlight them for you guys because they're going to be useful for you. And those are things you can start to tackle like today, because it's really, really important. Things like coming in the market with the right mindset, okay, very crucial. We talk about that today a little bit. Trading with indicators that work, okay, strategies that work, things that work in the market. Creating result-oriented trading habits, all those habits we talked about. There's so many habits you can have, but you need to have the right ones, and ensuring that those ones, you keep them over time. Okay, because your environment can change, things can become like different, and you want to have your habits so that you can like keep moving forward and keep seeing the result that you saw in the past. Okay, if you like change environment and you forget your habits, your results are gonna like vary a lot, and I've seen this myself. Okay, good comment here. Advanced trade management techniques. So whenever you're in a trade, how do you manage your stop loss, your take profit, to make sure that, yes, like, you benefit from the move, but you also ensure that you don't like have too many losses at the same time. And creating a solid risk management plan. This is going to be very important, especially if you trade for other people. Okay, it's something I'm going into right now, because I like trade for other people right now, and I want to get this bigger. So this is really important, having a plan for how you're going to manage risk, because it's a completely different game, trading for one person and trading for like 10 person, or trading for yourself or trading for different people. It's a big game. It's a different thing. And of course, buying cheap plane tickets if you want to travel. That's a joke, by the way, if you guys didn't catch. But yeah, those are all things that you guys can learn in the academy that I have. I've talked about it a little bit in the beginning. I want to maybe share a little bit more with you guys, because there's some awesome things that have been coming up recently. And I'm super excited, because I'll share with you guys like what happened recently. So you guys might have seen this before. Here's what it contains in the academy. There's like 4 main courses right now, even more that are being published. Some on trading strategies, on psychology, on day trading, on like trading strategy playbook that I use for multi-time frame. There's a lot of trainings, and it goes even more in depth into all of these courses. And then last month, I've had, well, like recently even, last week, had the chance to add a new course to the academy, which is with professional trader and risk management expert Michael Tama. He's been doing a complete training on risk management for the academy. Okay, so it's a complete course on how to trade for other people. That's what it's called, Professional Trader Risk Management Intensive. It's because it's really targeted to help you trade for other people. And I can tell you guys, like, it's just amazing. I'm mind blown by this. But like, the advice shared in this is awesome. It's incredible. Things that like everyone should know for sure. But like, most people don't think about it. I've rarely seen a course where they're going to talk about risk management that way and as in depth, so that you can trade for other people. This is really awesome. So every single month I try to add a course to the academy, have a good lineup of different people. And here's the thing I realized like last month. It's so good to have like an academy for yourself, a course you have, but you can only give as much when you're like one person. Like if I were to trade to tell you guys how to trade and teach you how to trade, I can like give you what I know, but there's like so many things that other people do better sometimes, like risk management. I'm not the expert at that for sure. Like psychology, I'm not the expert at that. Hence why I'm trying to bring the other people outside from different field, what I would call the expert, to bring more knowledge and to bring things that are helping you guys move forward and kind of helping me at the same time, because I learned a lot. Like this course, I've been following it myself, and the insight I had from it were so useful that like there's so much work on my plate right now. But yeah, it's really awesome. And basically, what we do is that we have monthly live calls. So every single month we do a live call, kind of a mastermind call where people can show up. We had the call like 2 days ago, and those are really cool. We have some people like connecting and traders sharing their trouble, the thing they have problem with, and how they can improve. There's an accountability system where you kind of stay up to date with me, and I try to follow up with you to see how you're progressing, because I believe so much in accountability. I think it's something that has been shared many times, and having someone to like push you and to bring you back on track when you fall is, I think, really awesome, really powerful. And I've seen success with this when I felt a little bit. Like having other traders to bring me back on track, that is really awesome. And also the result guide checklist, like when you get to simplify everything in the checklist, much more useful. And I'm trying to create as many checklists as I can for like everything, so you guys have access to them at all times. And this is new also, the academy, to the ability to join my podcast interview live. So you guys see that, like, you guys probably know that I've been interviewing traders like for a long time. And right now what I do is I try to give my academy access to the interviews, like live, so they can ask questions, interact even with the guests sometimes. And that, I think, is an awesome way to learn from more traders. Like, as I said, it's good to learn from one person, one coach, one course. But when you can like duplicate this and multiply this with many traders, I think it's much more awesome. And you get to surround yourself with so many people that you learn from, and you can learn from anyone, which is really cool. We also have a Facebook group, a mastermind group only for the academy members, which is getting some interactions, people asking questions and getting support, finding sometimes accountability partners that they can partner with. And that is also a good resource. So all of this is included in the academy, and I've shared this before with you guys. Here's what the members say. So here's Elias. Elias has been in the academy, I don't know if he's heard tonight, maybe. He's been in the academy since 2015, so it's been like 2 years already, which is really cool. Good testimonial from him. I think he's getting to trade live right now, which is really cool. And yeah, that's awesome. The biggest, I think, change for him was to use a trading plan and journaling his trades. And like I teach some technical stuff in the academy, of course, strategies and everything, but much more comes from the methodology and like what you do outside trading. Because most of the time you spend trading, like myself, I don't spend much time trading, and I don't think it's going to be the same thing for most people. Okay, but you need to spend much more time outside your trading, working on your trading and becoming a better trader. Okay, that is very essential. Here are some other people: Mike, Brian, Johan, who is really passionate. Johan is making some awesome move. Is scalping the market, which is really cool. But it's a different style. But I think he got a lot of value from all the people in the academy and all the course, and some strategies they've used. Like he's done the work, that's something for sure. But he's been applying what I teach on different time frames, and he's seeing the success right now with being consistent and everything, which is really cool. Thomas also. So here's the thing, guys. My academy right now, if you go on the website, the platinum member the lifetime membership is $895. Okay, this is what most people pay. And I had like many people pay that price last month to get in. Okay, they get a lot of value, and I believe that like you can. I really believe that you can kind of get back this investment in a really short time if you do things right. Okay, that's for sure. But since you guys are here, and like since I see you guys are really motivated, and like you've been showing some really good chat in the chat box, I appreciate. I'll add to this like 2 follow-up sessions, 2 basically trading strategy sessions, where I sit down with you to look at your strategy, see what you're doing wrong, maybe good, maybe not good, and try to like work on these things so that you can start to implement your strategy right. And then we do a follow-up to make sure that you have everything right, everything set up, and that you see some progress like right away. Okay, this is something that is valued at $495. I can offer it only for the first 5 people because like it takes some time, and that's like easily 2-3 hours of my time per person, which is intensive. But it's gonna be available for the first 5 people tonight. So here's what you get basically. You get the academy plus the follow-ups, the implementation and follow-up sessions. 2 sessions, as we said. Value of $495 plus the academy, $895. Total value of $1,390. And here's the special offer for you guys tonight. So this is going to be available for 24 hours, as we said. You can become a platinum member, which is a lifetime thing. You pay only once. You don't have to think about it. Most people pay monthly on this academy. So if you guys can stay in for a lifetime, I think it's much more enjoyable and much more impactful for you. So here's the offer. There's going to be a link right here. There's also like a 30-day money back guarantee. Like I really don't believe in the idea of like making people pay if they don't get value from something. So if you do not get value from it, I'll refund you like anytime within 30 days. That's my commitment, because I want you guys to first of all get your money back on this, be able to apply this in the market and see result. Okay, that's the biggest part. And the other thing I want to say is that all the modules are like pretty short. So if you like short on time, because I just hate courses myself that are really long and takes hours to go through. Those modules are really short, 30 minutes, and I'm redoing them right now to make them even shorter so that they're more impactful. And you schedule the call when it's convenient with you. So I don't have like a fixed schedule of calls and everything. You pick the time that is convenient for you, that works for both of us. And each lesson is always simplified. Like as you guys saw tonight, there's always like an implementation plan at every single module, every single like course, so that you can implement things that you learn. Okay, it's one thing to learn, to have all this knowledge, but if you cannot implement, like you're not gonna see result. And that's why we want to make sure everything is clear, everything is simplified, and that you have this like implementation session all the time, this plan you can implement with. Of course, like it's not for everyone. Okay, I want to make this like clear. So this will not help you get rich quick. And as I said, I'm really bad at that. But you will get to build a pretty big account over time. And that is where the power lies. Okay, overtime is the key word. And all the skills you build and all the progress you make in trading is going to lead to something over time. Okay, not today, not tomorrow, but over time. And that is a big power. But if you want to get rich quick, it's not the right place for you for sure. And you guys have probably seen I'm really strong on being supportive. Okay, so don't expect me to let you down, and don't expect me to not follow up with you. Okay, that's a big fact. I try to follow with all of my students on a constant basis, make sure that they're on track, that they do what they have to do, and that is strong accountability, I believe. Strong when you can be accountable to someone, it is much more powerful, and you see much more success and much more result, and much faster with this. Okay. And if you guys are ready to go, basically you become part of the family. As I said, this offer is going to be available for 24 hours. Okay, so if you have to go back and check and everything, you can go back and see what's inside and everything. Or if you want to sign up right now, totally fine. You're gonna become part of my family pretty much in trading, and you get to overcome obstacle with me along the way. So question time. If you guys have any question, just comment below. If you guys want to sign up at the same time and do that sign up, totally fine. I'll let you sign up and everything, and come back to me. Let me know you've signed up afterward if you decide to sign up. Let's see. Decofall. Yeah, there's gonna be a replay of this available for 24 hours with this offer. Always 24 hours. And then it's gonna be like if you want to watch this again, it's gonna be as I said in the academy after that, so people can log in the member area. They can access all the trainings that I do, and there's like a ton of other things also, a ton of other bonus that you can check out, and all the past webinars are there. Yeah, for sure. That's an interesting comment I wanted to go to. VLT Nomad Trader. So I realize how hard it is to be disciplined trader when you travel in different time zones. Yeah, of course. Because here's the thing. Whenever you travel, you are in a different environment. And the number one thing, let me just go back to this. The number one thing that like affect your habits and the things you do on a daily basis is your environment. Okay, so like the first day, this is funny. The first day I arrived in Shanghai, my very first trip when trading and traveling, I got in Shanghai, and basically I woke up like I arrived I think in the evening, and I woke up the next morning, and I was like, what do I do? Like, what should I what should I trade? Should I watch the chart? Like, not only you have the time zone and everything, that's hard, but at the same time, you need to kind of get back on all your routines, having your plan in front of you, having those things you look for, like looking at the news. If you look at the news, opening your chart, looking every 4 hour, like those are things that takes a lot of time to implement. Okay, that's for sure. That's something I realized also the first time. So of course, it's really different. But once you are able to simplify the process, and maybe like the best tip I found for this is to create like a checklist of like travel things to do when you trade and travel, and you just go through the checklist every morning. Okay, and then over time you build routines that help you like stay consistent, and that's like the way to go, right? When you have the routine, like it's gonna be different every place you go, but when you have like a simple routine you can do, like as simple as it can be, like maybe just 2-3 steps that are easy to do anywhere. Okay, like exercise, have breakfast, look at the chart. Okay, anywhere you are, it's gonna be pretty simple. And I've seen myself, like the last 2 months I was traveling, I was much more consistent with the time I was looking at charts and the things I did on a daily basis because of these small routines, like the time you wake up, the schedule you have, and everything, of course. Eduardo, will there be a replay of this video? Yes, as I said, for 24 hours, but in the academy afterward. So forever in the academy, 24 hours on YouTube, and you can check it out like as much as you want in that time. Yeah, cool. So I don't know if you guys have any other questions. I'll wait a couple of minutes, but let me go back to the slides. As I said, like great opportunity to join the academy if you guys want. It's really discounted compared to the regular price. And I do this because I know you guys are going to benefit from it, and you're going to start to apply what's in there. And there's so many courses you can go through, so many things that whatever stage you're at right now, there's going to be something for you in the academy for sure. Okay, and I've been working on that for so long, so there's something for you anyway, definitely. Okay, yeah, no problem. My pleasure, Nomad Trader. Cool. So regardless whether you guys decide to join the academy or not, I want you guys to like stay committed to becoming better traders, right? It's one thing to want to learn to trade and want to be able to trade full time, but it's a very different thing to commit to it and to decide on the steps to take and to start to surround yourself with traders. Okay, that's a big step. It might not be as easy as it seems to like find traders and surround yourself with them and like develop your skill over time, but it is rewarding, right? It makes a big difference. It makes a big impact overall. So get in touch with me if you decide to join the academy. We'd love to chat and love to do your first call and answer any question you have, of course, after the event. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll finish it here. Already, what, 9:10? That's good. The time. If you have any comments, just comment below the video. I'll monitor the comment as always. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel and check out the academy, of course. I'll see you guys pretty soon. Ciao, guys, and I appreciate you coming in. Ciao.